So good morning to you, Inspector Sheridan Hill, and welcome once again. Thank you for being here once again.
Good morning, Ria, and thank you for having me and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
It's a pleasure always, because we need to have a good relationship between media and the police. We need to have that.
That is important, and that's exactly what we're talking about today. Communication, interaction between the TTPS and members of the public, and a new exciting app that is coming on stream from the 1st of November.
Ooh, so that's very soon. That's next month. That's just a few weeks away, a couple of weeks away.
Exactly. And one of the interesting things about the app is you will not need to have data or internet to receive messages. And you won't, but you'll need to download the app, go to the App Store, Google Play, and download the app.
What's it called? What's the app called so that people will know?
I think it should just be the TTPS app. But there'll be lots of media information being provided to the public about the ad prior to its launching.
So exactly what type of information will we be getting from this app?
Excellent question. So you're going to get information about traffic disruptions, disasters, emergencies, and anything else that the TTPS deems important that the public should have. Right. So, good point. But to do those things, send information, report crimes, provide feedback, you would need to have internet and data and so on to provide to interact with the app in such a manner. But with respect to receiving information from the TTPS, you wouldn't necessarily need to have data and Wi-Fi and so on.
What about sharing? If you get a piece of information, an anonymous tip or something, can it be used for that as well?
Exactly. That's one of the objectives of the app. Okay.
And so you just text in whatever information is there and nobody knows it's you sending it?
Yes. In addition to the 999, 482 Gary 555 and your regular police station. Speaking about that, I know last week we spoke about littering. And I did not mention, the question was asked about the penalty. The penalty for littering is $4,000 or 6 months imprisonment. And if it's a corporation, it's $8,000. Just thought I'd mention that as we're speaking about information.
So that type of littering, just on a side, for example, because we were talking about people throwing things out of their vehicles, you see tossing into drains, sometimes just in the streets. That's of the $4,000 fine if caught?
Yeah, that's the 4,000.
Yeah,
and of course, as I mentioned last week, you can be arrested as well.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
Even up to this morning, I was driving by in a vehicle, and the passenger in the front seat threw something out the window. I was completely disgusted by it.
Yeah, and that's contributing not just
to
the unsightly places in Trinidad and Tobago, but also to the health of the country, as well as the flooding and so on.
Yeah, that's right.
And it doesn't matter the size of whatever the object is. Very good.
Now, back to the app.
Good. Yes.
One thing I foresee being a challenge for the TTPS with this app, the anonymous reporting of crime, is if there are those who report false information via the app. How is the TTPS going to deal with that?
Now, that is always a challenge. People report all sorts of frivolous stuff. And recently I provided some information as to the millions of calls that we get and what percentage of those calls are genuine that we can act on and so on. So that will continue to be a challenge. But we hope that members of the public are mature and responsible and use the app for the purpose that it was intended.
Would there be almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe surveillance type technology that can be used for the app. So say, for instance, a user of the app decides that they, aside from wanting to report a crime, say they are actually at the scene of a crime, would they be able to upload video and or audio that would be channeled from the app directly to the TTPS servers that you could then monitor?
I believe that will also be possible because as it is now, you can record stuff and send it to those mobile phones and so on.
Right.
So I believe that will also be possible when the app comes into effect.
Is there a department or a group of people who are specific to dealing with the app and information that comes in and information that's sent out?
Definitely, yeah.
So it will go directly to them, so they could actually veto as well the news and different things before it's sent out to the public.
Yes, and currently we have different systems in place for receiving information and disseminating that information to different units within the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service to respond quickly to reports.
Okay. So, for example, as you say, that's responding to reports. If someone is, God forbid, breaking into your home, can you do that via the app and say, help, someone seems to be breaking in, and that's how, that's one way to respond. If you can't get to a phone, an actual phone.
Once you have data.
Right.
Once you have data.
Yeah, because
yes.
I'm guessing like in a situation where there is a robbery in progress and someone is probably hiding in their home or something, it wouldn't be safe for them to be on their phone. Well, hello, officer, I'm in a problem right now.
Exactly,
Someone would give away their position.
Precisely. So you text the information.
Right.
And we still have to support the app that's coming into effect.
Right.
We still have 482 Gary.
Right.
Yes.
999, 800 tips and so on. So we just want to remind members of the public of all these various avenues for providing the TTPS with information to help us to serve you all better.
When it comes to people's personal data and such on their phones, such as location data, usage data as well, what privacy rules are in place to protect people when it comes to the privacy of their phone and the possible ability of an app to store and probably transfer this information?
Yeah.
Well, the TTPS is about to establish, in fact, it has established legally a cybercrime unit. So we will definitely take those issues into consideration, and also we'll be monitoring persons who break the law.
Right.
With respect to those issues that you mentioned.
Right. That sounds very good. It seems like there's a lot of thought that went into the various aspects of one TTPS app and the user's ability to use it for the benefit of themselves and the TTPS, as well as the surrounding issues that comes with that type of technology.
Definitely. All in the effort to serve the Trinidad and Tobago public better.
Sounds excellent.
Make the country safer.
Oh, yes, definitely. Thank you. I can't
And
wait.
also to provide another avenue for us to interact with members of the public easier.
Thank you so much, Inspector Sheridan Hill. I can't wait for November 1st as